All right, everyone, we are here with a very, very special guest. We are joined by USA gymnast and Olympic gold medalist, Jordan Chiles.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We are so excited.
So excited.
I think we can speak for ourselves and for the rest of the world, especially, our country, that we have been so excited for this Olympics, and everybody's been so locked in. I think coming off Tokyo, everybody really missed it.
Yes.
And now it's like we're all so engaged with it. And I'm like rushing home to make sure I'm catching the coverage. So how has the reaction been for you now? Because of course you lived through Tokyo and now this has got to be totally opposite.
This is definitely opposite for sure. I can tell you that. But I think the biggest thing was really I still had a lot of press to do even after Tokyo because it was my first Olympics and, that was a whole different scenario. But now that I'm coming back from my second Olympics, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm still on a high. I literally have only been back into the States for 2 days. It's just been crazy. But I'm so just excited as I have no words half the time. So
And we are all so excited for you.
Thank you.
And like you said, you just got back to the States. You've been here for 2 days, Paris to here. What's that plane ride back like? What's going through your head?
There were so many emotions going through my head through that plane ride. I was asleep the whole time, but I still was replaying myself throughout my head, and I was just just beyond proud of every accomplishment that I've done throughout the years. I mean, the past 2 years of my life have been crazy just in general with losses in my family, having to be in the hospital so many it was just crazy. So it was really more of just realizing everything that I've gone through and kind of just saying thank you, thank you to staying in my sport and just continuing to, stay true to myself.
Yeah, of course. And you should be so incredibly proud.
Thank you.
It's just amazing to watch. We've been loving every second, like Fran said.
Exactly. Now that we've mentioned the ride home, it made me curious. So the medal, you keep those on your person when you travel home?
Yes.
Those aren't going in the check bag.
No, not at all. They definitely were in my carry-on. So I think being able to kind of, every time I go through security, I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're going to think there's these big, humongous, I don't know what, they're going to think something's wrong with my bag. So I always take them out and they're like, oh my gosh, you did this? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, can we touch? I'm like,
Yeah.
You're like, oh, maybe not.
Not right
were
now.
you out there competing? I don't know if you could touch it.
So it's really cool just to see even the security people are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm like, you know what, that is pretty cool that I have those with me.
Yeah, it is. I love how proud you are and you're taking in every single moment because that's the way you should feel. You are coming off the Olympics, you're soaking it in New York City.
Yes.
What's it been like being in New York City post Paris now?
It's been actually, although the weather is a little
not the best.
Iffy, it's not the best weather, but I still enjoy New York all the time. Even when we first got here, when the first day we got here, it was around, I want to say 2-3 o'clock. So I think we went to Times Square and I was just it's still as beautiful. Every single time I go to Times Square, I'm like, this is just crazy. So I've had fun. I've been doing a lot of press. I, just been enjoying the moment. We ate at this really good restaurant called Quality Italian last night.
That's really good.
Really good.
Man, I was so tired though. I didn't even get to enjoy my food. I'm like, I have to go back or something.
Right. You're gonna make another trip back when you're not jet lagged coming
I was
back.
so tired. I was sitting there. I was like, guys, my eyes are
You're
closing.
fighting for your life.
Trying to force yourself away.
Yes.
So when you first got to Paris, how were you feeling? What's the energy specifically for this Olympics? Because Paris is such a big, beautiful city and everybody was so excited. What were your feelings when you were getting to Paris?
Heading into Paris, although it was my 4th time going to Paris, the last time was the best time to be in Paris.
Yeah.
I literally got off the plane and I was talking to my teammate and I was like, yo, although I've been here 3 other times, this time though, I was just like, wow, I'm here. We're literally about to walk into the Olympics. What is happening? There's so many emotions. We were all talking to each other oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Who are we going to see? What's going to, what is the food going to be like? But it was just crazy. And, obviously we did get escorted through the airport and everything to make sure everything was okay. And then once we got onto our bus to head to where we need to head, it was like Paris 2024, Paris
Right.
2044, like the Olympic signs everywhere, and I was like, yo, we're actually here. Like, somebody pinched
Oh
me
my
at this rate. Like,
that must feel like a dream at that point. There was
was.
so much conversation about the Olympic Village. Even you mentioned, like, what's the food going to be like? So much
Yes.
conversation surrounding the food,
Yes.
especially on TikTok, all over social media.
Yeah.
Were-
The Olympic Village really went viral
literally
on
the
TikTok.
chocolate muffins.
Yeah.
What did you feel about the chocolate muffins
So
since you
I,
brought it
no,
up?
I don't. I'm not a chocolate muffin person. I don't like
Fair.
chocolate really like that. So, but the youngest one on the team, Hesley, she enjoyed those chocolate muffins every single time. She's like, guys, I'm gonna go to breakfast. I'm gonna go get a chocolate muffin, or we'd be at lunch. I'm getting a chocolate muffin. I'm like, okay, so they must have been good. Everybody was eating them.
I saw somebody, I forgot who it was, where they were like, I'm gonna sneak a Olympic muffin to my mom, and then they're.
I think that was it Anna, or was it? It was either Anna Hall or Gabby.
Yeah,
one of the track girls.
And her mom was like, "This is just cake. Like, she was like, this isn't a muffin. We're eating chocolate cake right now."
It's so true, and I do feel like sometimes a lot of like that European breakfast is just a pastry that is just dessert.
Yes.
It is just it's just
literally.
dessert.
Exactly. Were you expecting this kind of conversation to go into the Olympics around social media so much, like about like what's going on in the village, the way you guys are sleeping?
Honestly, I didn't think so, because people said it was a little similar to how Tokyo was. So I was like, okay, we didn't get the experience in Tokyo. So my like social media was really just like, okay, like this is my first time in the village. Like, what is it gonna be like? You know. So I didn't think there was gonna be that much, like from the cardboard beds to the muffins to the trade pin. Like, we're trading pins. Like, who would have thought trading pins would be on social media? Like, that was crazy to me.
Is that something that always happens?
Yeah. So but when you
Makes me think of like summer camp.
Yeah, basically, it's like you're,
I love it.
Girl Scouts.
Yeah,
like.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a common thing for the games, whether it's Pan Am Games or it's the Olympic Games, and your federation. So obviously, Team USA, depending on what sport you are, they'll give you pins to trade with other countries, and I love that part because I'm an outgoing person. I like to be able to find different sports in different countries and see, there's more countries than you think. I was watching opening ceremonies and I was like, I've never heard of that country. Ever.
Agreed.
Yeah. Like there was like, what? They have a sport? Oh, okay. Like, that's cool. But yeah, it's a really cool experience. And again, like, you find different sports. You walking around the village, it's like, who's a basketball player, who plays volleyball, who's a skateboarder or whatever. So it was a really cool experience.
Was there anybody specifically from any of the other competition sports that you got to really talk to or hang out with a lot, or was you guys were locked in?
No, we actually weren't locked in.
Okay.
A lot of me and Simone really stayed in the apartment a lot because we were like, man, like, this is a lot. Like, I'm just gonna relax, But like Jade, Suni, and Hesley, they did walk around. One person that I think was really cool is when Simone, I was like, hey, Simone, there's Shelly Ann Fraser, and I've never seen Simone get so like, whoa, like, she's right there. I'm like, yeah, like, it's the opposite. It's like, oh my gosh, that's Simone. Like, she was really excited. So being able to like introduce Shelly Ann to Simone and just they had a great conversation, and hearing her how she was on sprint and all that stuff, like the backstory, it was really cool. So that interaction was really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing, because the way that you guys are reacting towards other people is how
it's
people
funny.
react to you.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious every time. I always walk away, like, whether like meeting Steph Curry, I was for some reason in that moment, I was actually fine. I thought I was going to be fangirling, but I met him and I was like, oh my gosh. He actually asked me for a photo, and I was like,
wow.
Wait a minute. Like, that's not right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You guys had
amazing.
such an awesome impact, and I think everybody really felt the team camaraderie from you girls.
you.
So
sure.
How did you guys connect pre-Olympics? Like, what was the team mindset going in?
So since after trials, after that interview we had on the Today Show about the whole redemption tour, I think that's kind of what our mindset was. Really, is just in each and every one of us as individuals, we have something that we want to redeem, right? We have, whether it was Simone being the person that she is and getting her titles and everything and being the GOAT, to Jade redeeming herself for vault, or Suni just being able to do her we all had something. So going into it, we had a camp before we actually left to Paris, and we all kind of just, it was team bonding. We enjoyed each other's company. We made sure that everybody was okay before getting on the plane, and we kind of just went from there. I think the biggest one that happened was when me, Suni, and Simone had a talk before team finals, and it was something that Suni kind of needed to like get off her chest, right? She was like, I'm feeling some type of way, and we're like, okay, we're gonna squash this right now. We're gonna do what we need to do and make sure you're good going into team finals. So that was another thing that happened. I think it's really good being able to have somebody, to lean on and talk to and give a different direction on what that situation is you're dealing with, and kind of get their opinion or their understanding as well. So that's kind of how we just kept it together, and you could really see it on the competition floor. I think that was really cool. Now that I like rewatch like some clips on TikTok, I'm like, oh yeah, like no wonder people are like, oh, you guys' bond is like good, because you could see it. So I'm happy that everybody understood.
Yeah, because you can see it off camera a little bit, the little chats you guys are having, and also so important because it's such a high stress environment that like I feel like there can be moments. Do you feel like you're alone, but you have a team with you, and being able to be honest with them and talk your feelings out?
100%. I mean, we're all, the four of us are older, and obviously like Hesley is the youngest one on the team, and being able to kind of give her that perspective of, yes, you can be the oldest one on the team, but there might be times where that older girl may need somebody to talk to, right? So we wanted to give her the understanding of when she's in our position that she can help her teammates when that time comes, whatever Olympics, however many more she's gonna do, right? So I think that's like the cool thing, and we are older, and we all did mature from the last Olympics, and we all understood each other a little more.
But that's what's so cool too, because it's you guys have had those experiences being the younger gymnast on the team and having those leaders, and now you get to be that for her, which is awesome, because it is you like you're kind of you pass it on a little bit. We watching all the coverage, right? You kind of hear the same stories told from the announcers, and here comes Jordan Chiles. She's named after Michael Jordan. Like it happens every single time.
Yes.
And at one point, they pulled up a screenshot of Michael Jordan texting you.
Yes.
What was that like, receiving that text?
Okay, so I was driving.
I'd be like, wrong number.
I thought I was like, yo, like somebody has my number and is pranking me. So I'm driving back from practice, and it was a really good practice. So I'm like in a good mood. I'm on the phone with my best friend. I'm like, and all of a sudden I'm like, why did I just random number? So I'm thinking like, it's from Fashion Nova, because Fashion Nova just be sending you texts.
Sale happening.
So
Flash sale happening.
I'm sitting there, and I get home, and my parents, they're, I don't know, doing something. I think they were like going grocery shopping for dinner that night, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, let me see what this message is really about. So I look, and it was like, this is Michael Jordan, and it said the whole thing, and I was like, hold on. I had to look around, like I literally by myself in the house, like looking around, like, is anybody else seeing this? Or and so then I sent it to people, and I was like, y'all, like I sent it to my team. I was like, y'all, please somebody confirm this or something, because if this is actually him, I am throwing my phone through the window. Like there's no
You're
way.
like, I don't need any more messages after this.
And so they confirmed it, and I literally was like, there's no way. So I had to confirm it myself. So I texted back, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, I have no words. Like, I'll definitely cherish your name forever. Like, trust me. And he was like, okay, good. Thank you. And so I was like, oh my gosh,
like,
it was him.
God.
Yeah, you're please send back a picture of you holding up something that says, I am Michael Jordan, with the date and time to prove. When you screenshotted that text and sent it to your friends, because obviously you're sending that to everybody, were you nervous you were going to accidentally send it back to him?
No.
You know when you like slip up and you're like, oh,
no.
I said that to the wrong.
No, so I had to, so I was like, okay, so if I have to send this, I was like, it's his personal number first off. I was like, I have to make sure I blur out certain things. I was like, okay, this is this. So yeah, I wasn't scared. I think really the only I only sent it to my team. I didn't send it to anybody else because I was like, I'm about to post this on social media. All my friends are gonna ask, so might as well just put it on the social. They all gonna see it.
Right.
Exactly.
How did your parents react?
Oh my gosh, my mom is a huge Michael Jordan fan. That's the reason why I'm named Jordan. So I had told her, and I was like, Mom. She was like, Jordan, this is not real. I said, Mom. Yes, it is. And she was like, there's no way. So she's the one who was like, okay, you have to send it to your team. You got to do this because we really have to figure this out. Like, how did he get your number? And
we're going to print it and frame it.
We're going to do all of that.
We're replacing your birth certificate with this message.
Literally. And the funny part is, like, my first thought was like, okay, I know his daughter, Jasmine. So I was like, oh, maybe she. But I was like, but I never gave her my number, so I don't know where. Yeah. But he figured it out himself, I guess, and was like, no, I'm going to text her myself. And I was like, wow.
It's amazing. Crazy. And it's just like now too, it's like the biggest it's like the biggest flex because it's I'm sure people have asked you before and you'll be asked many times for being, you know, who you are. Like that people love to ask, you know, who's the most famous person you have in your phone. It's
all
like,
the time.
Michael Jordan. Hard to beat.
Actually, maybe one of the most famous people ever.
Yeah, I think it quite literally might be number one.
It's so funny because like now I can say that, but it's even funnier because the first time somebody asked me, I was like, oh, Simone Biles.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, because that's literally like the most famous person I had in my phone at the time. So now being able to say that, I think it's pretty funny.
It's amazing. Now,
and all in your Jordan year, too.
Yeah, literally. Wow. That's what I was like, oh my gosh, my Jordan years. Yeah.
Yep. That is amazing. How do you compare, you know, the feeling of Michael Jordan texting you to finishing your routine and knowing that you nailed it and win a medal?
That honestly, it felt really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like from all these people contacting me before I even left to ending my floor routine. Yeah. Getting a medal, I was like, yo, this is crazy. And people are still contacting me. I don't even know. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. This is crazy. But I guess there's like a lot of things that do come with, you know, who you are as a person. So I just am so thankful that I have so many supporters within my life, and I can kind of just look back and look at that little girl and be like, I'm so happy you didn't quit. I'm so happy you just like continued yourself in a way, and you made your book, you made your chapters, you know. So it is pretty cool. And people have been asking, has he contacted me since? No, he hasn't. He has not.
No, congratulations.
No, he has not. But I'm not that type of person to be expecting anything or anything like that. So, but yeah, I'm just thankful for every moment that I've had leading up to Paris and then after Paris.
Watching,
even though it's only been 2 days.
Right. Watching your floor routine is just so impressive, so insane. My jaw is on the floor every time. And I know this like may sound like a silly question, but what is going through your mind as you are running full speed into these tricks? Like I'm like, do you have to have a blank mind? Are you thinking about something totally random?
Right.
Like, what's for dinner?
Right. So the funny part is, I typically don't think about anything throughout my floor routines. I always am just vibing. You know, obviously just something.
Great music.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But this time during floor, my heart, I wish y'all could feel my heart. It was like, I was like, oh my gosh, Jordan, like I'm standing there in my beginning pose and I'm just like, why am I shaking so bad? But this time, like, I really had to think about each pass. And I never do that. I was like, I'm overthinking everything. But typically, I kind of just let myself flow and just enjoy my music, enjoy the crowd. You know, the crowd it helps a lot. And it's just funny how in that moment I was like, oh my gosh, I literally can feel my heartbeat right now and I'm not liking it.
Right. I know.
It's crazy. I mean, I can only imagine. And I've seen you say before, like the music, the crowd, everything, you're a full-blown entertainer. Like not only are you a gymnast, but like you're putting on a show for everybody as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I always say this, if I wasn't an athlete, I'd be an artist. I would be, you know, you see me on tours and all this because I just love being able to entertain people. I feel like I've kind of been like that since I was little. I've always been, you know, bouncing off walls, you know, doing crazy things that not really typical kid would really do. Like, I would be jumping into water off of cliffs. Like, there was just a lot of things that I felt, was really fun for me. So entertaining is what's fun.
Right.
I feel like if people are buying tickets to come see you, it's like going to a concert. Like, I feel like it's the same thing.
And we are entertained. So.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I try.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I think
try.
one of the great things about watching you too is we're kind of used to, and as some gymnasts are, where it's like all business.
Yeah,
like they stick it and they're walking off that mat, and you don't even get a reaction.
Yeah.
You're like, are they happy? Are they sad? I can't
Yeah.
tell. But sometimes like when you hit it, you're like, yes,
all the time.
which is great because it's like that's your genuine reaction. Have you ever had any hesitation with any of those? Like, are you like, no, I'm gonna react however I want to?
No, I've had no hesitation about any of my reactions because it's pure. It's like very genuine. Like, I'm not just putting it on for a show. Like, no, like that's full on like how I feel. Like, all those pictures that you guys see with my mouth open, I'm screaming. Those are real. They're not fake. Like the fist pumps and everything. Like, those are all genuine. So I've never felt, oh, I'm going to get deducted for this or something like that. Because I feel like it's, at this rate, the culture of the gymnastics era has changed so much that I feel like it's very known. NCAA, like college era, it's very known there. Like, people are screaming, clapping, however it is. So why not be able to do that in the international world of us being a part of Team USA? And I feel like if track can do it, I feel like if basketball can do it, I feel like if, any other sport can do it, why can't we? So
Absolutely. One of the great moments that everyone's been talking about, they loved it, was you and Simone kind of giving Rebecca her flowers in that moment after floor. And while there's been a few skeptics who had got met with a lot of backlash, it was so amazing. And I think everybody loved to see that. What were you guys thinking in that moment? You just wanted to kind of honor the routine she did. And
honestly, as much as that girl, Rebecca Andrade, has done so much for her country. Like, she is just that girl. Like, if I'm going to say who's that girl, she is that girl. Yeah. For real. And I think at the end of the day, like, knowing that she's who she is, I felt like in that moment, she needed to be recognized for it. And bowing down to her was really just, okay, guys, like, you see what she did, so this is who she is. She's a person, but also an athlete as well, but more of a person. Like, she still has feelings, she still has all of that. So I'm a girl's girl, so I'm gonna give you your flowers. I'm gonna give you your crown. Here you go, ma'am. Like, you did your thing. She had the best floor routine out there during that day, so it was I wanted it to be very well known, and not just between me and Simone and her, but also throughout the whole entire audience.
Yeah, absolutely. She is incredible.
She's incredible.
Watching, I'm just like mind blown.
Every time I see her compete, I'm like, how do you do the things you're doing? Like, ma'am, like, and I feel like she's not done. Yeah. Like, I feel like she still has more to like put out into the world, because Rebecca is she's Rebecca Andrade. Like, come on now. She made a name for herself very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're going to continue working. You announced that you're going back to UCLA.
I am.
That's so exciting.
Thank you.
What made you make that decision?
Well, I have 2 more years of college, so I was just like, with the school aspect, I was like, why not add my sport to it? I mean, I have fun with gymnastics. I have, I feel like I have more to give within my school. UCLA did so much for me my first 2 years, so I want to be able to, help them with the last 2 years of my career with college. And I don't know, I feel like there's some things missing. Like, I don't know. I've accomplished so many things like now, but I felt like with college there was a few things missing. Like, I want things for myself and then also for my team.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's
and
awesome.
it's incredible to think like you just went to the Olympics, just gonna casually win some medals, and then you're just gonna pop back into school.
Yeah, might as well.
Exactly.
People keep telling me, how are you gonna just pop back and think you can walk on campus without getting recognized? I'm like, I mean, I hope I can. Like,
they'll recognize you all for good reason. They'll be congratulating you. They're gonna be sitting in class being like, do you have your medal on you? Can we touch it? Teachers are gonna be asking.
I know, all my professors are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, I had so-and-so in my class, and like, she was just it was just amazing. Like, guys, I'm right here.
Yeah,
please settle down.
Yeah. I mean,
right in front of you.
She's so humble. That's amazing.
Gosh, it's just so exciting, and I'm Paris was just so much fun to watch and everything that you guys accomplished. Do you have any, we'll wrap it up, but do you have any kind of funny memories that you're going to take away from this Paris Olympics that you could share maybe with us?
Funny memories? I feel like there's a lot of funny memories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
I know everybody's so curious about life in the Olympic Village,
life
right?
in the Olympic Village. I think, I don't know. Oh, I feel like the funny memories that I've had was with Simone, because there'll be times where I'll just be laying in my bed, right? Me and Suni room together, Simone and Jade room together, and Hesley roomed by herself due to the USA protocols.
Yeah.
Because she's the youngest, and so I'll be laying in my bed by myself, like perfectly fine on my phone. I'll get a text from Simone and it'll be like some TikTok, right? And I'm laughing. If I don't respond, it's just because you're right next to me.
Yeah.
There's no need. So I'm laughing. I swear 5 minutes later, she'll walk into my room and be like, "Did you see my TikTok?" I'm like, "Ma'am."
I love that.
Yes, I did. But yeah, a lot of the memories that I'll cherish forever would just be the times with my teammates and us just laughing, and we'll make funny jokes or we'll laugh at something on TikTok. Because we didn't really have that much time to really go out like every other sport, because we were literally the first sport.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys get to spend time with Snoop Dogg?
I did.
Yeah.
During me and Suni's interview time after our team, after all around.
Basically the face of this country right
literally,
now.
I'm so honestly, I'm so happy he got this opportunity, for real, because he was with Kevin Hart during the 21 Olympics, and they did their little, whole little show that they had, and I think I feel like it gives people a different platform when it comes to whether it's commentating or whether you're just walking around. Like, Snoop is literally the uncle of all sports. That's how I see it. Like, I swear he would be at gymnastics one day, and the next thing you know, I'm on social media and he was at equestrian. I was like, what is happening? And then you were at fencing, and then
he's
it's
doing a lot.
Yeah, he's doing it all.
Yes. So I think that it was really cool having him. People say he's our mascot, and I wouldn't have asked for a better mascot, because he is really he's a pretty cool dude.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we loved it. It's been so fun to watch. Well, we are so grateful for you to come in and talking with us. This is amazing. Like we said, we cannot congratulate you enough.
Thank you.
Seriously, congratulations
for what you've done
and
being such a great representation of gymnastics and the United States.
Yes. Thank you so much.
It's really awesome. Thank you so much, Jordan.
No, thank you for having me. And I love your guys' chicks in the house.
Thank you.
Thanks. We're going to use you saying that.
Really, chicks in the office, that's just so perfect. My nickname is Chick, so that's why.
There you go.
Oh, it's very fitting.
Yeah.
Very fitting.
3 chicks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.